There are moments in history where a lineage is not destroyed, but deliberately moved, not by a human plan, but by a divine command. In the twilight of the 18th century, a senior councillor to King Senzangakhona named Mzazela was pulled from his physical reality. He did not realize a danger was coming. He was shown it. A dream tore through the veil, delivering a mandate that would alter the course of spiritual history. If you remain here, you will not survive what is coming. Mzazela saw a fire rising from the royal line, a lightning rod that would consume the old world to forge a new nation. To protect the prophetic seed that would one day manifest as Isaiah Shembe, Mzazela had to obey the vision. He had to move southwest, leaving the Zulu heartland for the sacred, mist-covered altitude of the Drakensberg. This is the story of the Exile dream. Mzazela belongs to the era of King Ndaba, born into a time of relative equilibrium. By the time King Senzangakhona took the throne in 1763, Mzazela was likely in his 40s, a seasoned healer and a senior councillor. He sat at the very heart of Zulu power. But Mzazela was the warning node. The dream he received was a displacement instruction. It revealed that the lineage destined to carry the prophetic vessel could not stay in the path of the coming storm. The spirit of the future required a cold environment, a place of silence and isolation, away from the friction of empire building. If the lineage stayed in the heat of the plains, the prophetic frequency would be overwritten by the frequency of war. What followed was not a retreat, it was a sacred extraction. Obeying the vision, Mzazela moved the family away from the centralizing pressure of the Zulu heartland toward the Drakensberg. This move took them into the territory of the AmaHlubi, the great buffer lineage of the mountains. In the architecture of southern African sovereignty, the Hlubi served as the storage lineage, while the kings on the plains were the sword and the shield. The Hlubi held the ancient war codes and ritual secrets in the high-altitude vaults of the mountains. By placing his descendants in Hlubi territory, Mzazela was insulating the prophetic line. He was moving the source code to a mountain hard drive before the eruption on the plains could reach it. The dates of this era are the coordinates of a divine mission. 1763, the year King Senzangakhona takes the throne. 8 is a number of power and karma. It is the signature of a world being built in the physical realm, the era of the clan becoming the state. 1816, the year King Shaka takes the throne. This confirms that King Shaka's rise was a seven-field event, a moment of spiritual completion. Contrary to the colonial portrayal of a bloodthirsty tyrant, the numerology reveals a deeper truth. King Shaka was on a divine mission. He was the great consolidator, sent to unite the fragmented tribes into a single, unbreakable vessel. While the world saw fire, the heavens saw a necessary unification. The planetary influences of this era prove that world events are directed from above. During King Senzangakhona's reign, Uranus, the planet of radical revolution, was making its slow, relentless move toward the 1816 eruption. In 1816, Uranus was in Sagittarius, the archer of fire. This was the celestial strike that shattered regional tribalism to create a nation. But for those who find the stars complex, look to the ground. Every lightning strike needs a ground, and that ground was Saturn. Saturn represents structure, the mountain, and the law, while King Shaka was the Uranian fire on the plains. Forging a nation through heat, Mzazela was the Saturnian stone in the mountains. He used the silence of the Drakensberg to preserve the lineage. King Shaka was the heat that forged the body of the nation. Mzazela was the cold that protected the spirit of the prophecy. You cannot have one without the other. Mzazela did not build a kingdom of walls. He built a lineage of spirit. He obeyed the dream. He moved the spine to the Hlubi buffer. And because he had the courage to follow the vision southwest into the mist, the biological altar remained intact, for the arrival of the prophet. The Zulu nation historically developed one of the strongest architectures of sovereignty consciousness in southern Africa, and that memory it reactivates today through disciplined mass, organization, and collective identity. It is a field that Mzazela helped protect by knowing when to move. The gestation is complete. The seed is hidden in the mist. But as we leave the era of Mzazela, the pressure in the plains has reached its limit. On Thursday, we witnessed the end of the silence. We moved from the sanctuary of the mountain to the fire of the plains. We reached the 1816 pivot and the rise of the figure Mzazela saw in his dreams. The seed is about to flower. You do not want to miss this. I am the biological altar. If this video resonated with you, please subscribe, like, and share with those ready to awaken.